Hey gang, welcome to Mzansi and USA News. You know, in Gauteng, the GNU negotiations seems to have failed. They seems to have fallen out. The purpose of this video is just to give the information as it currently stands. You be the decider who between the two is lying. Is it the ANC or the DA? Check this out.
Has had to make.
This is the document that the DA gave us on the day I was elected the Premier. This document, the DA said, we are going to vote for the ANC on condition you agree to this document. And I want to read this document because it is this document that led to where we are today. And the document says, the composition of the Gauteng Executive Council, the Premier will come from the ANC, and the allocation of MECs is as follows. 7 MECs will be allocated to the ANC and other parties, and 3 MECs will be allocated to the DA.
Did you guys hear that? 7 MECs out of 10 will be allocated to the ANC and other political parties. 3 to the DA. Okay, I hope you understand that because that's a bone of contention. Let's hear what Mr. Msimanga from the DA has to say.
The ANC and the Democratic Alliance are blaming each other after Premier Panyaza Lesufi was forced to postpone his cabinet announcement for the second time. The two parties are struggling to find common ground on the composition of that cabinet. DA Gauteng leader Solim Msimanga has accused the ANC of negotiating in bad faith.
Important to note that we were not even informed of that. We only learned through the media that there is going to be a press conference. By the way, we were called at 10:30 in the morning while we were in our own provincial executive committee meeting to then say the Premier and this provincial secretary wanted to meet with us urgently so that we can finalize, the cabinet. We rushed. We left our meeting. We rushed across the province to go and meet up with Premier Panyaza Lesufi at 12 o'clock. We met with them. They asked us to give them, they said they were giving us one position or 2 positions and 2 chairperson portfolios. We said that is not acceptable to us, given the, the numbers that we bring in, the proportionality that we want to bring in. We then said we are going to be at 4. And if we are to then move towards 3, we also now need to know which other, positions are going to then be going to other parties so that you can then give the expression of a government of provincial unity, in the mix. They said that they were not willing to then do that, but they will go and consult on the fact that we are now willing to move to 3.
Here is the structure that Panyaza appointed. With him as a premier, he has got Lebugang Maile, ANC, Matume Shilwane, ANC, Nomando Lahoko, ANC, Kidiboni Dlale, Tabela, ANC, Tasnim Mutara, ANC, Faith Mazibuko, ANC, Jacob Mawabulo, ANC. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 70% of the 10 positions is the ANC. And then, of course, they gave 1 to IFP, they gave 1 to Rise Mzansi, they gave 1 to Patriotic Alliance. Can you see that? Okay, now, what could be the reason for the ANC to go this route? Who between Panyaza Lesufi and Solim Msimanga is really negotiating in bad faith? Could this be the real reason why these positions have been allocated the way they have? Check this out.
I want to just close off by asking a question which, the first thought that came to my mind was that there are some potentially massive scandals on a provincial level. We know that over 400 million rand was spent on fogging classrooms when pupils weren't allowed to even attend school during COVID.
427.
Yeah. Right. And that hasn't been discussed yet. I don't know if that's still in play. A massive amount of money was stolen from Tembisa Hospital, which cost Beer Dear Karan, her life,
Yes.
right, where she was absolutely assassinated.
Yes.
That hasn't been played out, and even life Isidameni has been sort of swept under the carpet. Do you think that there was a direct threat to those cases suddenly getting a bit of, instead of getting the sort of government protection that it's got so far, where nobody seems to want to investigate these things or finalize these things?
Well, I think there has been an attempt to try and hold some of the reports back. We have been asking in the sixth administration about some of the reports, and you mentioned a few. I mean, I can go even further. I can tell
we're
you,
gonna run out of time if we do.
500 million about the Anglo Ashanti Hospital. I can tell you about the Bank of Lisbon reports. I can tell you about the Alexander Renewal Project. I can tell you about the Everton Renewal Project, among so many others. So we didn't go, even if we were to go into a government, we were not going to have this buried. We want to see what has happened. We want an investigation done. We want the provincial state capture to take place. And this is what we were intending to do. And this is what we're still intending to do. And we will reach out to other political parties as well and say, now those that used to use their majority don't have the majority. If you want to get to the bottom of it, support us in terms of asking for these reports, asking for a lifestyle audit to be conducted, asking and using our numbers to vote for some of these things to be exposed. And if we can do that and get it right, then we should be able to then be an effective organization in the legislature.
Well, yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think this could be the reason why it is apparent that someone is lying? And I've left for you to decide who is lying. But I'm saying there could be underlying reasons for the lies being told. Do you think Mike Shem's question here is onto something, particularly taking into consideration Soli's response? Well, tell me what you think down below. Cheers.